Hey, how y'all doing tonight? Well, this is my, let's see, what would this be? Third, fourth, fifth. This would be my sixth video in my series. I am in Cairo, Georgia, and I just got here. Let me put this up here. Drove about 10 hours and 15 minutes today in order to get here. Started off today in West Monroe, Louisiana, and drove this thing the whole way, almost pretty much with no brakes. I had to stop on the side of the road to take my 30, and I stopped one time for a bathroom break. Other than that, I drove this whole thing all the way through. Take a minute right here. I want to introduce you to my riding buddy. Let's see. Get you up here where you can get a good view of him. This is my riding buddy. I ain't gonna tell you his name. He's got a name, but I ain't gonna tell you his name because I want to see how many people actually know who this guy is. See if anybody can tell me. Some folks may know who he is, but that's my riding buddy. He's my bobblehead, and we talk all day long. He agrees with everything I say. The worse the roads are, the more he agrees with me. So anyway, just a real quick shout out to my kids. Milas, Robert, and Andrew, Scooter. Been getting good reports on Scooter. Apparently things are going really good at home for him. Still a little bit of a struggle here and there, but that's to be expected. He's only 10 years old. He's really trying hard, really doing good. The karate is really important to him, and it's made a huge difference in his attitude, and I'm really proud of him. Of course, Robert, I'm always proud of him. He'll always be Milas to me, It's interesting that his middle name is Milas, Robert Milas Monroe, and it's spelled identical to Millis, M-I-L-L-I-S. So when I started working here, it was kind of a big deal for the boys. They thought that was just really cool. So anyway, I got here. Excuse me, I'm really tired, so I'm just kind of relaxing back today. But I got here about 15-20 minutes ago. Pulled up outside, spent about 5 minutes getting maneuvered around so I could get off the road and get parked off here on the side road. And this guy comes out and he's like, "Man, are you delivering out here?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, go down to this next street, hang a right, make sure you swing wide, come down here, hang another right, I'm gonna let you in the gate." And so they're kind of narrow streets, tight turns, but he got me around and got me into the gate. I'm backed up to the dock. Doors are open, tandem slid back, and my I'm ready to go. So I'm fixing to make something to eat here in a few minutes, and then lay it down. I'm really tired, so I don't think I'm going to have any problem getting any sleep tonight, Hope not anyway. But anyway, earlier today I kind of ranted on folks that are users, what I call users, leeches, parasites, those folks that want the free ride, they want the Obama plan, they don't want to have to work for anything in their fucking life. They want everything given to them. And, I'm just not for them folks. People can say I'm wrong. I'm sure that I upset some people, If I haven't upset them yet, I will as soon as they see what I had to say about them. People will say I don't understand. I ain't never been there. But that's all a bunch of crap. I grew up hard. We didn't have nothing when I was growing up. My mom worked her tail off to make sure that me and my brother had something. I ate beans and rice growing up, you know, we had it hard. Well, my mom always worked. She always worked. She always brought home money. She always made sure that we had something. She didn't, you know, she didn't go live her life on welfare. Live her life as a, you know, as a charity case. So I'm not trying to hear that. I'm so far in debt right now, I don't have nothing, you know. Everything I have to work for. I have to fight for. I've got to scratch for, you know. I get paid. My money's gone as soon as I get it, you know, just to catch up on bills. So don't try to tell me that I haven't been there and I don't understand, because I have been there. I am there, you know. But I'm working for it. I'm working for a living. And that's how I want my boys to do. When my boys get old, when my boys get up and they get their job, I want them to work for a living. I want them to earn their pay, you know. So people can be mad at me if they want, but that's how I see life. You know, if you're not willing to work for it, you don't deserve it. And you know, I'm not one of these bleeding heart liberals that, you know, want to save the whales and shit. This is going to sound really harsh, you know, it really is. But if you don't want to work and you don't want to put forth an effort, I don't care if you eat or not. You know, it doesn't matter to me. These guys that panhandle on the sides of the roads, they don't get nothing from me, you know. You could put a sign out, you know, we'll work for food. I'll put you to work, give you some food. Honestly, if I got the money, I'll give you a fair day's wages for the work that you do, you know. And as long as you're willing to work, I'll bend over backwards for you. But I don't like leeches. I don't like parasites. So anyway, enough of that. It's just been on my mind. I don't like Obama, you know. I don't like his policies. I don't like what he's doing to America. But worse, I don't like what people are starting to say about America. I don't like the attitudes that Americans are having towards America, you know. It's not the same country I grew up in. So anyway, back to trucking, you know. Don't really have a whole lot to say today, partly because I'm tired, mainly because the main reason I wanted to make this video was just to say, give a shout out to the boys, tell Andrew that I know how he's doing good. I've gotten good reports. I want to keep getting good reports, you know. And I'm sure, you know, it feels good to you know, have somebody giving those good reports. So I'm here tomorrow. I may take a clip of a video, try my hand at maybe editing some of these and putting in some of those clips. But tomorrow I'll film the yard out here. There's no, I already checked, there's no signs giving any of the business names away. So I'm just going to, you know, film the yard out here, the dock. It's not a big dock, but it's actually a pretty decent one as far as, you know, room to back in. So, you know, I'll just, you know, I'll take a few shots of that. Maybe I can edit them together. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know if I have the software on my computer that can handle it. So, anyway, just wanted to say, hey, one more thing. I may do a little bit on cooking. But there's some people that I watched when I was getting into trucking and I was first making the decision. And the guy's name is Nick and his wife's name is Cheeto. She goes by Cheeto. Anyway, she's got some fantastic recipes and some fantastic things that she does in the truck. And they were with another company driving, and then some things kind of went downhill for them, and now they're in a transitory stage, and they've taken down their page, but they've started another one, and they're editing some of those other videos to edit out the company name and stuff that they were working at. and they're putting together, you know, some of their older videos, and she does a lot of stuff on cooking for the trucks. And so instead of me doing a lot of videos on cooking, I may show you some of the things that I've cooked here and there, but I'm not going to get into what I did to do it and all that. I'm going to refer you to them. It's and man, y'all have to forgive me if I get this wrong. I am tired, really tired. It's Piffle Vlogs. I'll put their contact information in the description, so that you can go and you can track them down and you can find them. Like their stuff, subscribe to them, and if you want to learn some more about cooking in the truck, by all means, you know, check them out. You know, great couple. You know, they've gotten a little bit of hate lately. I don't really think they deserve it. You know, but that's my opinion. I'm not going to get into that. You know, that's their business. I like them. I'm following them. You know, I'm not on the hate train with them. I don't have anything against the company that they were working for. And if you want to know anything else, go to the Piffle Vlogs, and he's got some stuff on there, you know, where you can kind of see what's happened to him, where he's going, and some of the videos that they've edited. You know, if you comment, feel free to let them know that I sent you. For training, I'm not going to do a lot of training videos either. A couple reasons. One, I haven't been a driver long enough to train anybody to do anything, you know. I know what I'm doing in this truck, but I don't have the experience behind me yet to start trying to teach anybody anything about this truck. You know, main thing I got to do is concentrate on myself to make sure that I'm being safe when I'm driving. You know, and you know, give me a year or so. Give me a year or 2 years, somewhere around there, and I'll start, you know, doing some training videos. But if you're interested in the how-to aspects of trucking, you know, how to back a truck, how to connect to a fifth wheel, you know, how to slide your tandems, you know, the training aspects of the job. There's a guy named Trainer James, and I'll put his contact information also. Right now he's driving for Raven Transport, another great guy, and I follow him. He also has had a transitionary period where the same thing that happened to Nick and Cheeto happened to this guy. And I don't have any, I'm not on any hate trains or any accusation, you know, deals. I'm not playing those games. You know, I have mad respect for him. I have mad respect for Nick and Cheeto, you know, and I have mad respect for, you know, all the people that I've begun following in the trucking industry on here, and I hope that down the line I can earn their respect. You know, but until then, you know, if you want to know anything about the how-to, you know, of the aspects of trucking, then by all means, check his page out, watch his videos. I think he's got 260 something videos, I think. Go to Trainer James. I'll have his information in my link also. And if you comment on his stuff, feel free to let him know that I sent you there. He doesn't know me. I've never spoken to James, never spoken to Nick or Cheeto. You know, I've watched both of them extensively on YouTube. Both of them have been an influence on me, and I have respect for both of them. So we'll just leave that at that. All right, and go from there. So I drove for 6.5 hours yesterday, I think. I was going to stop at a truck stop. I had a truck stop picked out to stop at. I was going to be about 8.5 to 9 hours into my drive time when I reached this truck stop. It's not where I stopped last night. As I was driving, one of the rules of trucking, that I've learned is that your plans are subject to change instantaneously, and they're never going to go the way you expect them to go. All right. And I got to thinking about that while I was driving last night. And had I run all the way through, because getting loaded up, I had a problem with the trailer. And I may discuss that a little bit tomorrow. But I had a problem with the trailer. And that ate up a lot of my time. So getting loaded up, dealing with this problem with the trailer, and getting the door shut and latched and sealed, ate up my 14-hour clock. So I had less time on my 14-hour clock than I had on my 11-hour driving time. So had I continued to the destination that I chose, I would have had 45 minutes left on my clock. And it was late, around midnight. Somewhere in there, 11 o'clock midnight, when I would have got stopped. Or 1 o'clock in the morning, I think, when I would have got stopped. And I got to thinking that my chances of finding a parking spot here are fairly slim. So I decided to start looking for a place that may have a open spot before then. And so I went through a rest area. It was jam-packed so full that I almost couldn't drive down the middle of it. And then I went to a Love's. And if you know anything about these, if you know anything about these truck stops, you'll know that Love's tend to be the smallest of the trucking areas, except for the road rangers. But the Love's out of the major truck stops tend to be the smallest, and I didn't have a chance. That place, again, was so packed you almost couldn't get turned around in there. And so from there I went to a Flying J, and the Flying J was also packed. So from there I continued going, and to be honest with you, I don't remember if it was a Pilot or a Flying J. I think it was a Pilot in West Monroe, Louisiana. All I saw was I saw the sign for whichever one it was, Pilot, Flying J. I didn't care. I pulled in, and I went to looking for a spot. I found a couple spots, so I snuck up into one of them, and I went ahead and made the video that I made last night, and then I went to bed. So I didn't get to the destination. So this morning I left off from West Monroe, and I drove the entire way here, non-stop. Like I said, I stopped one time for a 30-minute break. The only reason I stopped then is because I didn't have any choice but to stop. There were no truck stops on the route that I was taking, or at least nothing really accessible to me. So there was a dirt, I don't even know what you call it, kind of like a half circle thing on the side of the road on packed dirt, where you could pull off. So there was a flatbed in there, so I pulled off in there with the flatbed and just sat there for 30 minutes, let my clock run out, the off-duty time run out until 30 minutes was up, and I hit the road again. Drove it all the way through till about 2 hours ago, about 2.5 hours ago, 2.5 hours, somewhere around there. I stopped at a Kangaroo truck stop. Never been in one before. Really wasn't much to talk about. But I stopped into the Kangaroo, went and got me a couple hot dogs, a bottle of water, and used the bathroom. Took a couple minutes break, stretched my legs. It was the first time I'd gotten out of the truck since starting out this morning. And I got back in it, and I made it here. I talked to my wife the whole way here through the last leg of the journey. I was really, really tired. It was getting real difficult for me to concentrate on what I was doing. Luckily I was close enough that I could get here. So anyway, I'm here now. And, one of the purposes of this series of videos is just to share, my life on the road, and, as tired as I am right now, it's a good tired, it's a good tired. I've put in a good day's work, and you know, and I've earned my money. You know, I finished out these miles. This load is here. It's the doors are open. It's backed up to the dock. Tandems are set. You know, all I got to do is give them the paperwork. They're going to come beat on my door in the morning. You know, so life's good. You know, and I love this job. You know, maybe that'll change in, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I don't know, but I love this job. You know, I crossed the Mississippi today, and just looking at the Mississippi, you know, I mean, it's a muddy river, but it's beautiful. You know, I mean, it's huge. It's iconic. You know, it's Americana. You know, I've seen the Mississippi before, but every time I see it, it's just so amazing. It's so awesome. You know, I drove through Alabama on these back highways, you know, State Highway 82 and, you know, and all that. And, man, it's beautiful out here, you know. It's beautiful out here, you know. And to miss that, to be stuck at home, you know, at an office job, on the 9 to 5, dealing with people I don't like, dealing with people I don't want to deal with. It's not the life for me, you know. I can't be locked down to an office building, you know, a 9 to 5 job, dealing with irate, angry customers and bosses that I'd like to strangle. I got to see where the next road goes, you know. I got to see where, even if it's not the right road, you know, even if somehow I got to get it off of there because, you know, I took the wrong route. I got to see where that road goes, you know. I got to see what's at the end of it. I passed this Pioneer Village today, you know, amazing. You know, every building in this thing was built the way they used to build them back in the, you know, 1800s, you know, the rough-hewn log cabins, you know, and I don't know, it was some kind of trade day thing, you know, but, you know, I went by and looked at it, and I'm like, you know, that's not something you see in Texas, you know, you just don't see it, you know, and, you know, it's just beautiful, you know. I remember, you know, I was driving and I was thinking, you know, seeing that kind of stuff, that's why I'm out here, you know. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm out here to earn a paycheck. I'm out here to make a living. I'm out here to pay off all these bills I racked up and somewhere along the line get ahead in life, you know. I'm out here to support my family and to do what's right. But I'm also out here to see that, you know, to see these mountains, you know, and to see the, you know, there's a place in Virginia where you cross, it's either Virginia or West Virginia, you cross this bridge and it's so deep that you can't even see the bottom of this chasm down here. And I've crossed it when it was covered in fog, you know, and it was like you were going across a bridge over clouds. Oh, it was just amazing, you know. You come down through some of these mountain valleys and, you know, they've got fog setting between the valleys, and it looks like these mountains are just coming up through the clouds, you know. Amazing, absolutely amazing. You know, and you come through and you see that land, and you see that beauty, and, you know, that's why I'm out here. I can't work a 9 to 5 job, man. Me being a mechanic, you know, or, you know, me being a salesperson, or me flipping burgers. No, not after this, you know, not after seeing this. And yeah, there's some frustrations with being out here, man. I miss my wife, you know. I miss my kids. But I can't give this up, man. This is just absolutely amazing. So, that's what I'm doing these videos about. I'm going to get a dash cam eventually, my own dash cam. Millis has been gracious enough to offer me their dash cams, but I think I'll let them keep those videos, and I'm going to get my own, and I'm going to take some videos of some of these places that I drive through, and I'll try to figure out how to edit all that to kind of piece it all together. And I'll make sure that I don't take no pictures, no video of me running through a stop sign or anything like that, so I don't end up getting fired for the videos that I put up. So I'll be careful about any videos I choose. But I want you to see what I see. You know, I want you to see how amazing some of this landscape is. You know, and I look at this, and I've seen pictures of every place in America. You know, and they're great, they're pretty. But to see it in person, you know, to drive through it, I don't see how people can just think that all this was done by chance. You know, I understand, and I'm not trying to get into a religious debate. I just don't see how people can look at this beautiful world, you know, and not believe in God, you know. What's happened to us as a people? You know, what has happened to cause us to get to the point that we're at right now? You know, I see this world. I remember the world I grew up in as a kid. You know, and on TV we watched shows about heroism, you know, and saving the day, you know. I mean, it was stuff like Buck Rogers, you know. I'm dating myself there. Battlestar Galactica, you know, the original TV show. It was not this stuff that's on today. And you know, they had the original Superman was still being shown, you know, with Steve Reeves. And you know, all the shows that were really popular back then were about making the world a better place. You know, there were some comedies, you know. Sanford and Son was big, I remember that. There were a couple others, you know. And there was the occasional game show. But the majority of television was about making the world a better place, you know. Leave It to Beaver was still popular when I was a kid, you know. Mayberry, what was that show? What was the name of that show with Mayberry? Anyway, it was popular still when I was a kid, you know. And these were all shows that either made you want to be better as a person, you know, or embraced a world we were leaving behind. You know, today you get on television and it's all Criminal Minds, you know, getting inside the mind of a serial killer. CSI, solving the crimes of murderers and psychopaths. NCIS, you know, the same thing. You know, you're getting in there and you're solving the crimes of psychopaths, you know, and catching bad guys. You know, and then you watch television and it's all like Family Guy, you know, that makes people just look stupid, you know, or South Park that glorifies, you know, dysfunctional kids and dysfunctional families, you know. You know, there's not much good